What is up, students? It's Devlin Cassidy, aka the Scholar, coming back at you guys today with one of one of my favorite kind of things to do is just talk about Vanguard, talk about what decks do, theory craft, give off ideas, teach people. So I'm going to be starting this clan analysis series on decks and premium for my favorite format, but I am so excited to do this for you all. This is just kind of geared toward people that are trying to figure out what deck they might want to play in premium, what different decks do. So I just wanted to do this for you all. I know this is going to be a little bit different. Sorry for no face. I know I tried to do the face cam, and just the formatting of this video is just really weird. So I'm going to do it this way to make sure that everyone is all good and groovy. So I am sorry for those that are sad not to be able to see me this fine, lovely morning that I am recording. But before we get into it, please check out Kingslayer Cards and use the promo code SCHOLAR to save 5% off your order. They are a wonderful business, and they have fast, efficient shipping, and they're one of the best stores in the business, so you cannot beat them. Please, if you have time, check out their event that is happening this weekend, February 25th and 26th, and it's going to be awesome for everyone that is able to participate and attend. So starting off with the clan analysis, let's go over some of the Great Nature basics. Great Nature is a Zoo/Stoicheia clan. It plays the Oxel gift type, so it makes additional rearguard circles to aggro your opponent more. It has the success keyword, where the unit will check for a certain amount of power that a rearguard has and will gain skills based on that. And then it has multiple different variants in premium. I think Great Nature honestly is some of the most diverse premium decks, where it has a lot of different archetypes it can play, which makes it really fun, and it's actually very budget friendly. It has a variety of play styles because of all these variants, but the main thing, the gimmick that Great Nature does, is it pluses off retiring rearguards during the end phase, so you just get a lot of value for your cards, and it's awesome because Great Nature is cool like that. With that being said, let's go over some of the win cons. So Calendaria is a new card we got in Premium Collection 2020. It is a guard restrict combo with a other card also too. You can make it like really hard guard restrict. But again, it flips up a card in the G zone. You choose all of your front or rear guards, and they get power plus 10,000, and you retire them at the end of the turn. But Calendaria is on swing as CB1. You choose a rear guard with 30,000 power or greater, stand it, and it gets triple door, meaning that your opponent has to guard with 3 or more cards from hand. So when that unit attacks, which is absolutely awesome because Great Nature, as we'll see, is a restand combo beatdown deck. Bolaro, though, has been carrying Great Nature on his back for years. This card is absolutely awesome. I'm really thankful that it still sees relevant play today, as though it's not so much as a first stride anymore, because Calendaria is a costless way to make better numbers. But Bolaro's on hit, though, is still really good. It's Soul Blast 1, you flip a card face up in your G zone, you choose all units in your front row, so this will give himself the power, and give it the skill of when its attack hits, you will draw a card, and then it will get power plus 4k for each face-up card in your G zone. So it's pretty neat. You choose, and then for the GV8, you do a bunch of different awesome stuff. This card, though, definitely replaces Zoa, just because of the new developments we got with PGG guards. Zoa we used to do this thing called the Zoa combo, where you would just essentially say, have 3 heal guards, or have 3 G guardians, or you die. And now that Bushiroad printed the PGG guards for a lot of clans, Zoa has showed out to be less relevant, which makes me big sad, because that was my favorite card in the game. But Vera does a lot of work. Choose 2 cards from your hand, discard them. You choose up to 5 of your rear guards, and they get power plus 10,000. And then if the number of your cards in your hand is 1 or less, Vera gets plus 40k in a crit. And the neat thing about this is that you can do this multiple times. There is no once per turn box, so you can just spam your whole entire hand out, and you get all these awesome skills. Then we go with the Crayon Tiger. This card is like the best card for Great Nature. It makes the deck playable. It's Counterblast 1 when a unit attacks with Vanguard and it's boosted. You may pay the cost. If you do, you choose one of your other rear guards, stand it, and it gets power plus 4k until the end of turn. And at the end of the turn, you draw a card and retire that unit. Micah Sabaru is a plus engine of where it gives another rearguard the ability when it is retired from rearguard circle during my end phase. I can search my deck for a grade 3 card, reveal it, and put it into my hand, and I shuffle. And then Talented Rhinos is the Success 20,000 card that if this unit is successful at GB1, it gets power plus 4k, and your opponent cannot call grade 0s to Guardian Circle from their hand that battle that this unit attacked, which is awesome because combined with Calidrius, you can say no 0, guard with 3 or more cards, and it is really awesome. And the cool thing about Calidrius will restand it because on an Oxel 2, Talented Rhinos will be a 16k, Calidrius will flip, pushing it to 26, Rhino will see itself become 26, become successful, gain the 4k, and be exactly at 30. So that is a really cool thing, and so I'm really glad that everything worked out that way. Next, we're going to be going breaking down the archetypes. So we're going to start with what I think personally is the best deck right now for Great Nature in Big Belly. This deck is extremely tanky. Most of these combo pieces lead to draws because of Big Belly's top auto skill of when a rearguard is retired by a card's ability during any battle phase or each end phase, I may draw a card, which is so good because you destride at the start of your end step, and so then all the rearguard retire skill effects that linger or will trigger, Big Belly will see and you draw cards off those. So it's absolutely awesome. And Big Belly's neat thing now is that you can abuse the plant token engine, and the reason that this is cool is because you're able to plus so much value. Calendaria is the promo we got in Overdress that is retires itself for its cost, so automatically off Big Belly you draw 1, and then you call 2 plant tokens. These plant tokens can be killed during your opponent's turn with the G-Guard Ardillo, so essentially you like plus 3 off a Calendaria, and it gets like more crazy the more you have like on a ride up turn. So yeah, it's just absolutely wild, and I'm really happy to have that. But that's the neat thing for the clan. The con though is you have to make it to first stride, and because of Big Belly's minimal grade 2 gaming, but it is the best personally I think out of all the Great Nature decks, you just struggle to make it to first stride. If you make it to first stride though, you can do a lot of crazy things. But again, like always Great Nature decks, you're always going to see all these. You have to see your combo pieces to make the deck function. And then we are going to now move on into the combos. Alrighty, so for this Big Belly combo, we are going to assume that we have been able to like G-Guard, and let's say that we have this Cyclonid and this Managarmr Arnhem face up in our G zone. The big thing though is that we definitely want to, if we're first striding though, or something like that, we definitely want to flip the Cyclonid then the Managarmr first, just because the Managarmr though in our second stride and Calidrius extension is the most important card for this combo. So we will start off our turn by striding. So we will just use this stride fodder. And the big thing though you want to make sure in hand is you have this amazing Professor Big Belly, because this lets you do your final last combo attack extension for this wild turn. So we will of course be striding into none other than our Calidrius here, and so we will stride. What will then happen next is we can activate Calidrius' skill. So we will flip a card face up in our G zone. We can just flip a Bolarl. And what this will do is this will give all of our front row rear guards 10,000 power. And the neat thing about this is that this will automatically kick Rhino to a 30k. So what we can do is we can just crash with the Spool Mary into like one of their rear guards or something, and then Spool Mary will get 10k. And so Spool Mary will now be a really big number, but also let's just say it will give 10k to the Calidrius as well. So now our Calidrius is 37, which is awesome. And so cool, we crash, we will swing 30k like at the Vanguard with Rhino. And this is really cool because this lets you do a lot of stuff. And then we will swing Calidrius. And there's 2 things now that have to happen. So first we can do with the on swing, we can Soul Blast 1, and we can off of the face up Managarmr skill of being able to Soul Blast 1 if this unit is in your face up in your G zone. When it attacks, you can Soul Blast 1 and call a card from your hand to rear guard. What we are going to be doing is we are going to be calling this Amazing Professor Big Belly over the Spool Mary. And so what will happen is this Amazing Professor Big Belly is not successful yet, but we can force it to be successful either if hitting something off the drive check or we hit something off of the thing. And so what I will do is I will shuffle for integrity's sake. Just making sure that I ain't cheating or nothing like that. So we will be able to do something here. Whoa there, bucko. But I broke a sleeve. Alrighty. I'm gonna cut some cards here. All that good stuff. Cool, we got the multi-cut. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna CB1 for Calendario's effect to restand the Rhino, and then it will give itself the danger skill of triple door. And so now we will do our triple drive. We'll go first check is a crit. Oh, that is huge. That is huge indeed. So what we will do is we will give all effects to this Rhino. So we will give a 10k and a crit. The second check, another crit. Okay, this Rhino's looking deadly. I think this is a death combo. We get 2 additional crit. The third check is the, okay, you guys watched me shuffle this. Okay, over triggers. So I guess 100 million to the Rhino, another front to the units. I will draw a card, and I will heal one because I'm assuming my opponent's not at 4 yet. And I will draw another card. Okay, well that's wild. So yes, definitely death here, because what's gonna happen is that since this saw the power gain, even if we hit all blanks, we are going to be able to restand this 3 times because of him. He would have saw in the 4k power off Crayon Tiger, and that's how success works. Success checks every time there is a power change on a unit on your board. So again, now I guess you just swing 100 million, 3 crit, and no zeros, must guard with 3 or more cards from hand. Then you can swing you, boosted, CB, restand, swing, swing, CB, restand, swing, swing, end of battle, restand, death. So that's the big explosive combo turn with Calendaria. If you hit a crit, this combo becomes like a lot more deadly. Even too, like on like your first strike, you can just have like a Crayon Tiger, a Spool Mary, and this, and you can generate a lot of pressure if you hit a crit. Just because that's kind of how like the deck functions. But yeah, that's the big offensive explosive turn, like maximized, like extremely maximized, I guess, because you have the OT. But yeah, this is like the bread and butter combo now for Great Nature is that combo. But then again, I can cover kind of the cool defensive play that Great Nature has, which is all about her. So the cool thing about Calendaria is, like, let's say like I have a G guard in hand, right? I retired everything, but like the mic is up, let's say that, and the belly's rested, and I have like this many cards in hand, and I had 2 Calendarias on my board at the end of turn. So let's go 2 less, so that way we can hit something crazy. So the cool thing about Calendaria though is like how much like it can insanely plus after. So we have like these 2 heals in hand. We have these Calendarias here. Let's just say like, I don't know, they're here. They pop, right? And we get 4 plant tokens. So you, and you all come out to play. And then what we can do is, like, when my opponent swings at us, we can just G-guard into the Ardillo. And the Ardillo is going to kill all 4 of these units. And it's going to have me draw 5 cards because of Big Belly. That's just absolutely wild to me. That, like, that value is insane. Because, like, averagely now, like, your hand's going to be that big. and you were gonna draw two, let's say like you drew the two heels off like the Calendaria pop anyway. So now you're just chilling in here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards in hand. And you're able just to go up even larger. The largest hand I had in Big Belly in a tournament was 24 cards, just because of how insane this deck can be. So yes, this is kind of the perks to being able to play Belly and Premium, and you just can see all these consistency pieces. So yes, Belly I definitely think is the way to go. Next, we have the Isabelle deck. This is the control and tempo deck. It has a very control aspect. You're very reactive into what your opponent's doing, trying to prolong the game into some big win con like Vera. So yeah, that's what we're stalling into. But it's very cool that it is the only Great Nature variant to have a Denial Griffin combo, which is used with the lottery mechanic, which I will showcase in the next combo segment for this. And that's the neat part. The cool thing though too is that with their new G Guard, it has a PG effect if it mills a trigger unit on place CB1. If its normal unit gets power or shield plus 20,000. But Isabelle is always going to make it see the PG effect, so your heal guards now are perfect guards, which is really awesome. The big thing about this though is that Isabelle is extremely fragile and clunky. It has to play a lot of 5k shields to like manage its resources and everything. So like any rush will just straight up kill you. It does have no early game, and like everything else, you have to see the combo pieces, but the deck is pretty fun. So for these Isabelle combos, they're mainly just defensive combos because this is what the deck strengthens in. And so all you're going to need is for this first combo, I'm going to display the Denial Griffin combo, is you're just going to need a heal trigger, and this card called Daring Scientist Mary Martin is going to enable this whole entire combo, and you will need a second soul. So let's say that for giggles sake, we rode the mini Billy for a turn, and we already soul blasted the grade 2 for something. So what we're going to do here is our opponent is going to swing at us with, like, let's say they swing this rear guard, and this rear guard is like really big off an effect. What I'm going to do is you're going to go and you're going to G guard, and what you're going to do is you are going to go into the G guard All Mirage. All Mirage will activate, allowing you to Soul Blast 1, and you can call up to 2 cards from hand. What you're going to do is you're going to call the Mary Martin to this column where this rear guard, let's say in the hypothetical situation that is really big, is you're going to call it there. Then you're going to trigger Mary Martin's effect. Mary Martin's going to activate to let you Soul Blast 1, Counter Blast 1, and you're going to send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Okay, it's a normal unit. And so what happens now is that in regular terms, your opponent would not be able to intercept it on a turn. But since you have your Isabelle up and it's a continuous effect, you will perform both. So what you'll do is you'll actually retire all your opponent's rear guards in the same column as that unit. And this is a really cool thing because this actually like hits sweepers, hits stuff that says like resists, because you're actually targeting the column and blowing it up and not the units. So it's really, really cool. Mary Martin can do this, and we really like the defensive play that Mary Martin possesses. And the cool thing too is that like All Mirage can also give like resist, and they do not retire when they're hit effects. So what you can do too is like defensively, you can call Hanali's and stuff as well, like on top of this to do the effect. So you just go like, oh yeah, like Mary Martin, boom, Hanali, yeah, and then like you just set off your opponent's turn pretty hard. So that's the cool thing about Isabelle and one of its neat defensive plays. The other thing though is just you can just straight up have a G guard, and like your opponent's attempting to kill you, right? And so instead you just G guard and you go into the Chebet Avil and just CB1 mill a unit. Oh, I mill a normal unit, but it's still a PG because of Isabelle. And that's just the neat thing, is that Isabelle opens up a lot of defensive plays, and we really, really appreciate this tank. Nothing really too fancy on offense. It just tries to do like basic Great Nature plays similarly to Big Belly, but you just want to do it in the terms of those. Leopold is the slam board, punch face, and try to win the race. It's a very aggressive early game. You can just like slam down a board, and I think the best way to do this is via hyper mill. Reverse did strengthen the ride up turn though, and so I think that Leopold can do a lot of interesting things. What I mean by this hyper mill though is like you call like Bargo Zebra, or you have like a Researcher Fox on an additional rearguard circle, and you just call cards like Hendrina and the beaver guy from Overdress that like mill cards, and you just start giving Barcode Zebra and Researcher Fox like ridiculous amounts of power, and you start cracking your opponent in the face for like 39k, 44k rear guards that are it's just absolutely hilarious. The big thing though is like this can deck out, and on your regular School Hunter Leopold effects you can miss the calls off the normal units just because you can only call grade 2 or less cards, and again you have to see like the correct combo pieces. But this deck's really fun. Definitely working on the final list to do it for premium, but yeah, this deck's pretty fun. Alrighty, so now we're going to be going over the Leopold combos. I'll show you like kind of like why reverse can scale a little bit better, and then like this is like regular Leopold. So let's just say for giggles we're going for a ride up turn. So we're gonna ride, we're gonna draw a card, we're gonna go wild. We're gonna have, let's just say like we have a Leopold and a Barcode Zebra, and for giggles a Tester Fox and a damage. Cool. Let's say like the Bilbers and the damage. Okay, so essentially what's gonna happen is what you can do is you can call this Barcode Zebra here and this Leopold behind it to give the ability to lock, so that way you get all the effects when you discard a card from the top of your deck. So cool. It's a normal unit. You'll get another Oxel 2. We'll draw that card. And you'll check the top 5. Oh cool, I can call a Hendrina and a Barcode Zebra, let's just say, right? So then you shuffle, or you can call like this preemptively as well, to where you could call out the you have like 2 CB, you can call out this, so that way like when you hit Hendrinas or you hit Bilbers, every card you discard, this will be 2 and this will be 3, will give this +10 and +15 respectively. And so then since you have the 5k on the front row, your columns are just like absolutely massive to start, and you just kind of go crazy with this hypermill aspect, which I think is like the best way to play Leopold. Something I do want to mention though about Leopold is when you're going into the stride game where you ride the regular one and you make the Oxel to draw a card, and you have to call, so like I mill the Hendrina and my call targets are as such. Maybe there's like a point where like you just hit like the duds, right? So like you hit like another trigger or something like that. The cool thing about like, so let's say that, yeah, like it's that, like that's my hit. The cool thing about being able to call either types of these triggers is that if you play multiple of them, they're actually searchable off a stride that we can go into. So like let's say we call like the Dictionary Goat and we're playing like, we'll say like we'll say cool, like I call the Dictionary Goat and a Barcode Zebra, but like I do it like this, to where then you're able to go and find other Dictionary Goats. So like if you stride, you'll be able to go into this stride called Leopold Chaser. And when it attacks your Vanguard, if you have a Leopold heart card, you can choose up to one of your rear guards. It gets 4k, and then at the end of turn it retires your unit, and during the end phase when it's put into the drop zone, you search a card for the same name as it. So you can swing Leopold, crack this, and go search for a card of the same name. So that's how you're able to add like a second Dictionary Goat from the hand. So there's some effects there where you can call it off the top decks. I mean, but though you can do the same with a Heal Guardian for some reason if you have to call it down. But you can just search, the fact that it's callable off the Leopold on place is big. But that's an idea that you can do for the Leopold Chaser. And then onto our next segment, we are playing Hamsuke. Hamsuke is another aggro deck for Great Nature. Has a very aggressive early game because it just calls out these little hamster boys that go crazy. And then a stride turn, you want to go this big number combo where you're essentially abusing the stride called Sipticom. And Sipticom is like our bustard. It goes absolutely crazy. You have the soul, just go wild. The big thing though is like you're forced into the Hamsuke pieces, and you must see the combo pieces for that. And you have like a fragile and low hand shield, just because like you're discarding to gain effects, but you're not like plussing. And like a lot of the Hamsuke cards you have to play are like 5k shields. But we're still. I know Kalen's messing around with more hamster stuff in the premium department, so it's going to be really, really, really awesome to see. But we will figure out what happens. The cool thing though is like with Sipticom is you can like stack the over trigger, so that's the kind of the neat part is about, since your main win con is the Sipticom, like you can always like naturally stack the over trigger. If you just got like a big hand to like have a bunch of triggers, you can just slam it all back to deck and just reset your deck that way, which is awesome. So we'll move on in the combo segment for Hamsuke. So how to do the big Hamsuke combo for the numbers is what you want to do is you want to stride into Sipticom and call Label Pangolin targeting the Hammy, and you want to aim to have some Hamsuke cards in your drop zone. What's going to happen is what you're going to do is you are going to swing Mechanical Pencil Hammy and not trigger the Sipticom effect. What's going to happen then is you're going to swing and you're going to activate the skill, put on the bottom, give 4k, onto the bottom. Then what you'll do is you will swing Sipticom, or what you could do is you could obviously swing Sipticom first, like drive check 3, lit, nothing. If it's a crit, cool, because you're just going to swing the Hammy. You give the 4k, swing, restand, swing, go to the bottom, gives another 4k. And you're going to Soul Blast and of course flip up with the Sipticom on every one of these extender swings. So I'm going to be like 1, 2, on the next one, both of these are at the bottom. You're soul charging more. And essentially what you do is you aimed like to do this to get a bunch of like big numbers. But you are like calling cards like the Amazing Professor you play to extend attacks to call to the rears. So you just keep on going until Hamsuke is given like on her own like something like 20k power. It's a pretty wild combo to fully go over. But yeah, that's just the big combo. I know you guys can see as you work. Just chuck cards to the bottom, pass power to Hamsuke units, and go wild. So yes, that is the standard Hamsuke play. Then we have the worst for last. We have Chatnoir. So Chatnoir is a combo deck essentially that is aiming to do what Dark Lord Princess does for free, doing a double stride play. The unfortunate thing though is like the new Chatnoir does not mesh with any of its older support, so this deck's like very lackluster. Your double stride is your main kill combo, so like you miss out on getting like the highest value out of like Calendaria or like Balaral. So that's what I mean by like no real win condition. It's really slow. You're forced into all these like these 5k assistant pieces that like do nothing on their own until you like ride Chatnoir. So yeah, it's just really, really meh. Very fun deck, very, very fun tier 3 deck to play if you're just playing for giggles and stuff. But yeah, Chatnoir needs some help, but it's definitely very, very cool. So I will now display that double stride combo now. So now we have like the honorary professor combo that I'm going to be going over. This is the big double stride play, I guess. So what you can do is essentially like guarantee this. So let's say like we have like the cost to pay the stride. So we have the Enzoshin and we stride. Okay. Now what we do is we go into this Melior Chatnoir, and so like the big thing though is like you just have to have like 3 like random blank cards in hand to discard, and like for demonstration purposes, let's say we have the board. I don't even know what the board is, to be honest, just because like of the hodgepodge of cards. I maybe have played this deck once, but I do know the whole combo. So essentially what this is you're going to do this wild play. And so what you do is you can swing Melior Chatnoir, do your triple drive, go boom, 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 something wild. So you have like the triple. So let's just say our triple drive was crit, Crown Tiger, and the mini belly. What you do is you CB1. You can pitch these cards to the drop to do that. And so at the end of the battle, it attacks. You will move it face up to the G zone, and you will choose a honorary professor card from your hand and write it as stand. And all your rear guards get plus 4k. So we're assuming, again, like I said, we have rear guards here on the board. And so what we're going to do is off the Chatnoir, because it's going to check to see if you have a honorary professor, which you do. I'm gonna ride into honorary professor Chat Sauvage, and Chat Sauvage's effect now is going to activate. So what you're going to do is activate his effect. Now that you've ridden the honorary professor, you discard a honorary professor card. So let's just say we have the chest of Chevret, and so we'll discard this for the stride cost and go and stride into a Brahmada face down. Choose the one face down on an assigned dragon Cathpalug, or Immortality Professor Brahmada from your G zone. So we choose the Brahmada, right? And there you go. Yeah, you have the double stride play. That goes back down to a 16. And then what you can do is like you can swing board, and then you can swing Brahmada if you still have a hand CB, and like call your hand out after you flip the Brahmada. So like you can be like, yeah, okay, cool. Like let's say like a G guard, like I got 3 face up cards, I call 3 more rear guards out, and yeah, that's just kind of how the Cathpalug combo works. Chatnoir and all that good stuff is definitely something to consider. But again, I just feel like particularly it's lackluster. Great Nature best deck, baby, let's go. But in all reality, it's a really fun way to get into premium. I think Great Nature shows in a lot of like control and combo aspects that Vanguard has, and just a bunch of different facets in general. Like you have the multi-attack, you have drawing a bunch of cards, you have the Dogrific combo if you're playing Isabelle. You just do a lot of wild things. And so I really think that Great Nature, if you're trying to get into premium, can be a really fun deck for you. And so I really hope you guys give it a try. But if you guys liked today's video, please let me know, because it was hard to get this one started, but it was a good one, and I really appreciated doing this for you all. Please let me know what clan you'd like to see next. I can work on Bermuda or DI like immediately, but just let me know. And if it's a clan I do not have access to, I'll be more than willing to do the combo segment with virtual cards. I will have everything set up for that, where I guess I could do it on CFA or something like that. So regardless though, we will see. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Keep the videos and the views pumping. Thank you guys again for your support. I really appreciate it. Finally, check out Kingslayer cards and use the promo code Scholar to save 5%. It helps me, it helps KSC, and it helps you get amazing cards to play with. So please do that. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week. I love y'all, students, and until next time, take care.